Thank you for joining me this morning for Gentle Yoga. I'm Leo Bray, coming to you from inside Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center here in Palm Springs. Please be sure to visit us online at Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center on Facebook or at urbanyoga.org on the web to check out our class schedule. We have classes every day. And there's a tip jar there online where
Leo,
you
I'm
can
going
make
to log off and
contributions
log on
to
again.
support these Zoom classes. Very good. Marnie's going to log off and log on again because she can't hear me still. We'll get going. Hopefully when she comes back in, she can hear me. So let's get started today. You might see I have some props here. I have a couple of blocks and I have a strap. If you have those things, great. Bring them within reach. If you don't, it's okay. If you don't have a strap, I might grab the belt off strap. You can also use a towel, a piece of rope. We'll do some stretching near the end that'll involve using the strap for some hip opening things. And the blocks I'll weave in here and there as optional. I'm not going to do anything that you must have blocks for because not everyone has blocks. So we will start in a reclined posture with the soles of the feet together like that. Let me let someone back in that left. Oh, it wasn't Marnie, it was Melissa who was lacking audio. So we're going to bring the feet together and come down onto our back. If it's easier for you to come down onto your back and then bring your feet together, that's fine too. So you wind up lying down like this. Now, if this isn't comfortable in your legs or hips, you could also just rest the soles of your feet on the floor and have your knees leaning in towards each other a little. Now, I mentioned the blocks and then I didn't bring mine within reach. This is a place where you might use the blocks. If you have your feet together and your knees splayed out, you can make this posture more passive by putting the blocks under the outsides of your legs like this. Let the blocks take the weight of your legs. Your hands might just rest on the ground, or they might rest on your body, maybe on your belly to feel the movement of your breathing, or on your heart, and see if you can feel your heartbeat. Close your eyes if you like. Notice your breath. Just by noticing it, it will start slowing down and getting deeper. Notice the movements of your breathing and the way that these movements feel in your body, how each inhale feels and each exhale, where you feel the inhales and the exhales, how the feeling changes as the breaths gradually get deeper and slower. Scan your body head to toe. Notice any other sensations that are present for you. Just take in whatever is going on in your body right now. Making particular note of anything that doesn't feel so good, anything that might be stiff or sore, anything that's speaking up as you listen in. Noting these things so that you can take care of them. Remember that you're welcome to skip or modify any part of what I'll be doing. Everything but the breathing is optional. You can think of all the cues as suggestions. I'll make it clear if there's a cue that's firmer than a suggestion. It's usually something safety related, often involving what to not do with your knee. And maybe in addition to these shared intentions of listening to your body and taking care of yourself, you may be in the habit of setting a personal intention for your practice. Many folks do. Something else that you want to keep in mind during practice, another mental note for you to refer back to, an additional point of focus. If that's part of your practice, take the time to do that now. Set your own intention and let it sink in. I'm just going to mute everybody. I'm getting a little bit of background noise. If I've muted you and you need to ask me something or tell me something, feel free to unmute. That's fine. I want to make sure everyone can hear me, both the folks here now and the folks later watching the YouTube. With our intentions in place, let's share 3 deep cleansing breaths. Breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth with a sigh. And we'll get ready to move out of our opening posture. So if you do have your feet together, knees splayed open still, bring your hands to the outside of your legs. Let your arms do the work of lifting your knees towards each other and rest the soles of your feet on the floor. And if you had blocks there under your legs, you can move the blocks out of the way, because we're going to be doing twists here. The blocks will get in the way of the twist. Bring your knees towards your chest. Hug your knees, rock back and forth, or roll in circles, massage your back against the floor. And hold your right knee, extend and lower your left leg down to the floor. Extend your right arm out to the side. And keeping your shoulders on the ground, use your left arm to bring your right knee over to the left and turn your head to the right. Slowly bring your head and that knee back to center, and draw your left knee in. Extend and lower your right leg. Then come on back up to center. Draw both knees in again. We'll take some simple full body stretches like this. Inhale, reach your arms and legs all the way out. Reach your hands away from your feet. Exhale, curl up in a ball again. And just go a few more times. Follow the pace of your breath, using the whole inhale to lengthen out and the whole exhale to curl up in a ball. And after your next exhale, we're going to start to sit up. So 2 ways we can sit up. You could hold your knees and roll front to back, roll your spine along the floor. That might not feel good. It doesn't for some people. If that's for you, if that doesn't feel good for you, you can just tip onto one side. You don't have to sit just like this. Sit so that you're comfortable. You could also kneel. Feel your contact with the ground, whatever's touching the ground, and feel into the length of your spine. So we want to sit tall without being rigid or stiff. I never say sitting straight because your spine's not straight. Your spine is these lovely curves. So we think about the length of it. Let your chin come down towards your chest. Nice and slowly roll your right ear towards your shoulder and let your head tip back. Left ear towards left shoulder. Really slow circles. If you encounter tight spots in the neck, you might pause at the tight spot and go back and forth a bit and maybe release some of that particular tension. When you finish the next circle, change direction. If you haven't already, maybe you already have. When you finish the next circle, just lift your chin and look forward again. Bring your hands out to the sides, rest just your fingertips on the ground so you're staying long in the spine. Inhale, reach your right arm up alongside your ear. Exhale, reach across to your left. Feel for lengthening from your right hip up through your right fingertips. Let your head hang out wherever your neck is comfortable. Inhale, come upright. Exhale, let your right hand come down behind you, fingertips to the ground, left hand to your right leg. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale, invite your body to twist some more. Just discovering how much twist feels like enough. You don't have to go as far as you possibly can. Maybe enough is less than that. And let your twist unwind. Inhaling, raise your left arm. And exhaling, reach across to your right. Inhale, come upright. Exhaling, let your left hand come down behind you. Your right hand come across. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, see about twisting some more. Let yourself unwind, come back to center. Rest your hands on your knees or your thighs. We'll take some movements like cow pose and cat pose. Inhale, bring your heart forward, let your head tip back. Exhale, draw your heart back, let your head tip forward and down. Just follow your breath. We don't need to go at the same pace. Let's start to bring a circular aspect into the movement. So as you come forward, go over to one side. As you come back, go to the other. Still leading with the heart. Doesn't have to be an exact circle, of course. Try not to rock too much. See if you can keep both cheeks on the ground, both sitting bones in contact with the ground. Yoga teachers say sitting bones or sits bones because ischial tuberosities is a big mouthful, and many people don't know what that means. It means those bones in your seat. Change circles, change direction of your circles at some point. Yeah, the bony parts in your butt are called ischial tuberosities, or as I've learned in Spanish, isquiones. It's a cognate, very similar word. When you finish the next circle, sit up again, and we'll transition up onto our hands and knees. You could just tip to one side, plant your hands, swing your legs around. You could get there however you like, moving mindfully and gently. Open your hands way up. Feel the whole palms on the ground. Stack your shoulders above your wrists and your hips above your knees. Reach back with your left foot. Press the ball of your foot against the ground for a couple breaths. Inhale and reach your right arm out to the side. And maybe inhale, pick the left foot up, reach straight back like you want to make a footprint on something back there. Maybe bend your leg, reach back. Maybe you can connect and grab your foot or your ankle or just a pant leg or heel. If so, kick against your hand, lift your knee, lift your chin, opening the midline of the body and the right shoulder, and stretching the left quadriceps. Your hand and your knee come back down. Reach. On an inhale, reach your left arm to the side. On an inhale, maybe pick your right foot up, reach straight back. Maybe you keep it on the ground. Maybe you bend your leg and reach back. Maybe you get that bind. It's okay to bend your leg and reach your hand back even if you don't connect with a grip, what we call a bind. Releasing any binds, let your knee and hand down. Bring your big toes to touch. Maybe send your knees out wider. If your knees bother you, you might keep them in closer. Sit back towards your heels, making our way to child's pose. Walk your hands forward. Let your head come down. You want your head to touch down. So if it doesn't quite reach the floor, you might stack your hands and rest your forehead on your hands. If you've got these blocks, you might put a block under your forehead. You want your neck to disengage here. That's why it's important for the head to rest on something. And speaking of disengaging, you might let your shoulders disengage by reaching your hands back by your feet instead of reaching forward. Just feel the expansion in your upper body as you inhale. Think of settling back and down as you exhale. Maybe there's some movement. Maybe your tailbone lowers a bit. Maybe it's just a thought. Inhaling, pardon me, inhaling, bring yourself forward and up, come back to table. And we'll take some traditional cow and cat breaths here. Inhale, bring your heart forward, let your head and tailbone go up. Exhale, continuing at the pace of your breath. Part of how we unite movement and breath and help increase capacity for both, increase awareness of both, is noticing how some movements encourage inhaling, some movements encourage exhaling. The movements can help the air in and out. Bigger breaths allow for bigger movements, and bigger movements can allow for deeper breaths. And then just let yourself explore movement. So maybe you do some circles, like barrel rolls, or maybe it's more random. You could draw circles leading with your heart or with your hips, or you could just float around. See what movement feels good. Just drifting with your hands and knees planted. And over the next couple of breaths, wrap up the exploratory wiggling around. Come back up to table. And then we're going to step the left foot up between the hands now. This is a place for blocks can be useful too. If you have the blocks under your hands, you go to move your leg forward. There's more room between. It's another way you might use those. Hands to your thigh or your knee and press up. So our stance here, you want to feel for some steadiness before we start to move around. If you have this knee above this ankle, this hip above this knee, and this leg lined up behind that knee. Those things will all help you be steadier. If this leg's over here or over here, it can make it more wobbly. Having some more space this way between where this foot is and where this knee is can help. You might widen the stance. Exhale, sink forward in your hips. Inhale, glide back up. And you might keep your hands right there, or you can add in arm movement. You could raise one arm or both arms. And as you sink forward, lower your arm, either parallel to the ground or bent arm, cactus arms, goalpost arms. And you can always bring a hand back to your knee to steady yourself if you start to wobble more than you thought you would. And see how much movement your hips want. Maybe you're going forward further than I am. Maybe you're not going as far. Whatever your hips seem to need. And then we're going to twist. Reach your left hand forward. It might come to your leg for steadiness. And reach your right hand back, twist to the right. So anytime this hand can come down here and catch hold. Come back through center, maybe hands at heart. And then twist to the left. Again, the hand reaching forward can always come down and grab the leg if you start to wobble too much or tip over. Come back to center. Let your hands down and bring your left knee back to the ground. Step your right foot forward. Doesn't have to be all one step. Sometimes you even use your arm to help your leg get up there. Bring your hands to your knee, lift up, find that steadiness, check the alignment of things. Exhale, sink forward. Inhale, glide back up. Add arm movements how you like, if you like. Maybe you just keep your hands on your knee and focus on your hips. If you're doing extended arms, you might, as you come down, rotate palms towards the floor. As you come up, rotate palms towards each other. Loosening up the shoulders as we loosen up the hips. Warming up arms and legs. Then let's twist to the left. Come back through center and twist to the right. Come back through center. Let your hands come down. And we're going to step forward into forward fold like this. Bend knees. Sway back and forth. Arms and head hang down heavy. Different options here. Hands might drag on the ground or come to blocks or hang in the air or clasp elbows or clasp hands behind your head for neck traction. Just bending and straightening those legs, swaying back and forth. To whatever degree feels good to you. What movements help you find the length in the back of the body? Where do you feel tightness? Let your hands hang down if they're doing something else. And gently nod your head yes. Then shake your head no. And now lift up halfway, press your hand, reaching forward away from your tailbone. Think of your spine lengthening out parallel to the floor. Off knees, let the legs do the work. Inhale, roll to standing, hands up overhead, hands come together. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And let your hands hang at your sides. Raise your right shoulder towards your ear. Slide it back and let it down. Then your left shoulder up, and back, and down. Inhale, reach out to the sides. Exhaling, reach for your shoulder blades and hug yourself. Or if you like, you could take eagle arms, intertwine your arms and bring your palms together. If you're doing eagle, bend chest away from your face. In either shoulder blades. And some deep breaths here in the body. Inhale, spread your wings, grab your shoulder blades or take eagle. Inhale to open up again. Exhale, twist to the left. Take a full breath. Inhale, come back to your center. Exhale, twist to your right. Take a full breath. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, out and up. Interlace your fingers. Flip your palms up. Look up at your hands. Lift up your arms. Right. As you exhale, bend to the left. Feel for length through both of them. We'll let your right shoulder curl forward past your ear. With an inhale, come up through center. As you exhale, bend to the right. Keeping the left heel down, left shoulder back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, let your arms come out and down. Inhale your arms out and up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands, step one foot back and then the other. We'll come to plank for a couple breaths, letting hips settle down in line with shoulders and heels, or if you opt for a shorter plank, hips coming down in line with shoulders and knees. You can always do a shorter plank. Exhaling, slowly lower all the way down. Keep your elbows in close. See how slow you can go, but don't stop breathing. If you go really slow, maybe you need another breath or two. Let everything down. Untuck your toes, rest your chin on the ground. And now we're going to use the floor like a great big prop to do some shoulder opening and maybe a twist as well. Reach your arms out to the sides, palms on the ground. Grabbing the floor with your left hand, start to walk your right hand in, pressing into the floor so you come up onto your come up onto your left hip, left side of the head resting on the ground. I need to reposition myself here. I'm gonna run out of space. So maybe that's plenty to do. Maybe you haven't done this before. You could breathe right there. If you want to explore further, you could, like opening a pair of scissors, lift your right leg away from the left. You can let that heel drift back. If that feels okay, you want to go further, you can bend that knee and then just see what happens. With the weight of the leg hanging, foot drifts towards the floor, but just let it hang. Don't try to push your foot down. Let it surprise you and touch the floor. Maybe it'll hang in the air. You could also, if you really feel like going further, reach this arm up and let the shoulder rotate in the socket like that. Or you could fold your arm to your lower back. Now opening both shoulders in this funny looking posture. And we'll come out just as slowly as we came in. So if you did move your right hand, bring it back over here and plant it by your face to stabilize yourself. Then if you did extend your leg, you want to rewind. So first raise the foot, then straighten the leg, then bring it in line above the other leg, and then close the legs. And then slowly walk your right hand back out. So you come back to rest on your belly and take a couple breaths. You could rest your chin or rest on one cheek if you'd rather. Do a little more scooting. I'm just adjusting for camera work here. When you're ready, grab the floor with your right hand. My right hand might be off camera. That's all right. Walk your left hand in. Rock onto your right hip, pressing your right shoulder to the floor. Don't mind my scooting around here. And then if you like, you could lift your left leg away from your right. Maybe let the heel drift back. Maybe bend your knee. See where that leg wants to go. Just let it hang. Let gravity and breath do the work. Raise your left arm, explore some shoulder rotation, maybe a half bind. And remember, going very slowly to come out. If you did move your left hand first, bring it back, plant it to stabilize. If you did move that left leg, slowly lift it, straighten it out, bring it forward, let it down. Walk your left hand back out. Rock back onto your belly, rest on your chin or on your cheek for a couple breaths. Come back to center. If you're got your head turned to one side, bring your hands in under your shoulders. Inhaling, lift your head and chest to whatever height is right for you. So heart openers could be low cobra. Anything in this range is cobra. Listen to your low back. And when and if you're ready, by lifting the knees, you go from cobra to upward facing dog. But just do whichever degree of heart opener, whatever height of heart opener feels okay for your lower back. Exhaling, rock back onto hands and knees for a moment, passing through table. Curl your toes under, press into your feet and lift your knees. Press into your hands and lift your tail. Downward facing dog. Pedal your feet up and down. Walk your dog. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step your feet forward. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, come down. Inhale, all the way up, hands overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, down. Make your way to plank. And when you're ready, exhale, maybe just lower halfway this time. Inhale, bring your heart forward. Drop your knees if you like. Exhale, rock back and up to downward dog. Take 3 cleansing breaths in downward facing dog. Your knees come down. Cross your ankles. We're going to make our way to a seat. So, or you might cross your ankles, tip to one hip, spin around. Extend your legs forward and flex your feet back towards you. I'll give you this angle instead, actually. Inhale, reach up overhead. Exhale, fold down over your legs. If your knees want to bend here, let them bend. As you inhale, think of the crown of your head drawing forward. As you exhale, think of lowering some more. Maybe a few breaths deepens the fold a little bit. Maybe you feel some more release in your lower back on the exhales. Inhaling, walk your hands up the front of your legs. Let your arms do the work of sitting up to spare your back. Let your arms help your legs open out. letting your arms help your legs still bring your left foot over to your right leg. Turn your body, aim your sternum at your right foot, flex those right toes back towards you. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold over that right leg. Again, notice what your breath might do. Inhaling, think of lengthening forward. Exhale, think of lowering down. We'll explore some arm variation here, some different movements. Open your right arm to the side, turn your head, look towards your hand. Rotate your arm so your thumb points down. Bend your elbow and bring the back of your hands to your lower back, or reach for your opposite hip. Maybe your hand gets there, maybe it doesn't. So your hand might be at your sacrum or at your hip or somewhere between. Peel your right shoulder back. Your left hand can rest wherever. Mine's on my foot. It's okay if you can't reach your foot. Yours might be on your ankle or your shin or your knee. Extend your arm again. Undo that rotation we did. Slide that hand back over next to the other hand. And open your left arm out to the side. Turn your head. Follow your hand. Turn your thumb down. Bring the back of your hand across towards your hip. Maybe it's there, maybe it's at your sacrum, maybe it's somewhere between. Peel your left shoulder back. Extend your arm. Rotate, palm forward again. Reach your arm up alongside your ear and overhead towards the other arm. This does a nice job of releasing compression in the center of your lower back, that spot just above the sacrum. Reach your arm up and out to the side, the other arm, and walk your hands up the front of that leg and sit up. Let your arms help extend this leg. Then the other one, bring the foot across, pivot your torso, flex your left foot. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, fold down. Your left arm to the side, turn your head, follow your hand, turn your thumb down, then the elbow, bring your hand to your low back, or opposite it, feel your left shoulder back. Extend your arm again, and do that rotation, and slide the left hand back over by the right hand arm. Turn your head to follow. Turn your thumb down. Bring the back of your hand across, behind. Peel your right shoulder back. Extend your arm. Rotate, thumb up. Reach up alongside your ear and overhead. Reach up and out. Sweep your arm back across. Walk your hands over your leg and sit up. Let your arms help extend your leg and then nudge your legs towards each other. And time is flying. It's time to lie down again. You can plant your feet, bring your hands behind you, and come down onto your back. For me, and grab your strap. Should have said before you lie down, bring the strap within reach or whatever you're using for a strap. Draw your knees towards your chest, and you're going to slide your strap or towel or whatever you've got under your feet. Hold one end of your strap in each hand. Now, before we go on, notice your contact with the ground. I want to have your sacrum on the ground, the bony plate at the base of your spine, and your shoulder blades and the back of your head. Keeping all of that on the ground, reach your feet up so that your legs are long, your strap is long, your arms are just length and grounding. Point your toes up at the ceiling, your toes down towards your face. Let your feet relax. Keeping them inside the strap, slide your feet away from each other as far as you can, wherever that is, and take a couple breaths when you get there. And gently drawing on the strap, help slide your feet back towards each other. And take your left foot out of the strap, press your left leg to the ground. Hold the strap with your left hand, reach your arm to the side, feel your shoulder blades still on the strap in your arm to bring your leg over to the left, shoulders grounded, not worrying about how far that leg goes. It'll go where it needs to. See what a couple of breaths does. Keeping a gentle, guiding tension on the strap, not forcing your leg anywhere, just supporting it as it lowers. Come slowly back up to center. Hold the strap with your right hand. Press your left hand down on the front of your left hip. Keep that left cheek on the ground to keep the pelvis from rolling to the right. Let your limbs fall to the right. So we're working to let the right hip open here. And if the left cheek lifts and the pelvis is tilting, then that hip's not opening as much. Sometimes you put your water bottle in just the wrong place and end up resting your foot on top of it. It's a southwash bottle. I put my foot in my mouth. Now to come out of this one, we want to go very slowly. Lift your left leg, step back, press the back of your right leg to the floor. Just overturn your head to the left. Remember to keep your shoulders grounded. Slowly bring everything back to center. Take the strap in your left hand. Press down on the front of your right hip. Let your limbs fall to the left. Remember, nice and easy to come out of this one. Really take your time. Bring those limbs back up to center. Raise your right leg. Bring your knees towards your chest and set your strap aside out of the way. Hug your knees. Rock and roll on your back. Massage it against the floor. Reach your feet up towards the ceiling. Reach your hands up, grab your legs or your feet, wherever you like to grab. Play with bending and straightening your arms and legs, exploring movement in happy baby pose. If there's a different inversion you'd prefer, invert however you like. Move as much or as little as you want. Invert as long as you want. When you feel complete with inverting, you can make your way to your final resting pose, which might be the traditional Shavasana, corpse pose, legs extended, feet splayed apart, hands resting out by the hips, eyes closed if you like. But if this isn't comfortable, please get comfortable, whatever position is comfortable for you. For just a couple minutes of quiet breathing, integrating the benefits of your work as your body maybe continues to relax a bit more with each breath. Breath slowing down and deepening, just as it did when we started practice. Focusing maybe on your breathing or on an intention you set for yourself, or not focusing on anything in particular, just letting your mind drift. Not trying not to think, but just letting thoughts come and go like clouds pushed gently on the breeze. Begin to give yourself some deeper breaths. Slowly start to move around bit by bit. Small movements wiggling fingers and toes. Building up to bigger movements, rolling wrists and ankles. Just suggestions. You might turn your head side to side. Let your neck wake up. Moving mindfully, taking your time. Sit up however you like. A nice gentle way to do it is to bring your knees to your chest. Extend your arms overhead. Let the weight of your legs tip you to one side and pause in a fetal position. And then pressing your hand to the floor. Let the strength of your arms sit you up. Come up to your comfortable seated or kneeling position. If you like, bring your hands up by your heart. Thank you for coming together to share this practice. The light within me sees and honors and bows to that same light within each of you. Namaste. And again, I'm Leo Bray, coming to you from Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center in Palm Springs. Please visit us online at urbanyoga.org or at Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center on Facebook. There's a tip jar there. You can contribute to support our Zoom classes, and there's a class schedule there. You can check out what else we have to offer. We have classes every day of the week on Zoom, and Thursday through Sunday mornings, you can join us in the northeast corner of Ruth Hardy Park at a distance with a mask, of course. And questions and feedback are always welcome for those here with me in the moment and those watching later on YouTube. Feel free to leave comments on the video. Have a wonderful day.